Imagine a vast ocean, endless blue, no cities, no borders, no witnesses. In June 1942, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, one battle would decide the future of the war, not with massive armies on land, but with aircraft carriers, pilots, intelligence, and seconds. This is the story of the Battle of Midway, the moment World War II in the Pacific changed forever. After Pearl Harbor, Japan seemed unstoppable. In just 6 months, Japanese forces swept across the Pacific. Hong Kong fell. Singapore collapsed. The Philippines were overrun. Guam and Wake Island were captured. The Imperial Japanese Navy appeared invincible. Its carrier fleet was the strongest in the world. Its pilots were highly trained veterans. Its commanders were confident, almost arrogant. The United States, by contrast, was wounded. Battleships lay at the bottom of Pearl Harbor. The Pacific Fleet was weakened. Morale was shaken. But something critical survived. America's aircraft carriers were still afloat, and they would decide the future. Midway Atoll was tiny, just a few islands in the middle of the Pacific. But its location was strategic. Whoever controlled Midway could threaten Hawaii, protect Pacific supply routes, extend air power deep into the ocean. To Japanese Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, Midway was the key to destroying the U.S. Navy once and for all. His plan was bold. Lure the American carriers into a trap, destroy them, force the United States to negotiate peace. But the plan relied on one assumption, that the Americans would be surprised. They were not. Unknown to Japan, the United States had a secret weapon: intelligence. American cryptographers had partially broken Japan's naval code, JN 25. They knew Midway was the target. The timing was near. Japanese carriers were involved. To confirm it, U.S. intelligence sent a fake message saying Midway was short on water. Japan responded by reporting a water shortage at AF. AF was Midway. The trap was exposed. For the first time in the Pacific War, the Americans knew where and when the enemy would strike. Admiral Chester W. Nimitz faced a difficult decision. The U.S. Navy was still outnumbered. Only 3 carriers were available: USS Enterprise, USS Hornet, USS Yorktown, damaged at Coral Sea, but repaired in record time. Against them stood 4 Japanese fleet carriers: Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, Hiryu. On paper, the odds were terrible, but Nimitz chose to fight. He positioned his carriers northeast of Midway, hidden beyond Japan's expected search area. He would strike first, or die trying. On June 4, 1942, the battle began at dawn. Japanese aircraft launched toward Midway. Bombs fell on airfields. Buildings burned. Anti-aircraft fire filled the sky. But Midway did not fall. American aircraft rose to meet the attackers. Fighters, bombers, and torpedo planes launched from the island, many flying into near-certain death. They attacked Japanese carriers relentlessly. Most were shot down. Few hits were scored, but their sacrifice mattered. While Midway was being attacked, Japanese carriers prepared their own aircraft for a second strike. Decks were crowded with fueled planes, armed bombs, torpedoes, ammunition. Then reports came in. American ships had been spotted. Japanese commanders hesitated. Should they strike Midway again, or attack the American carriers? Orders changed repeatedly. Planes were rearmed. Bombs replaced torpedoes. Then torpedoes replaced bombs. The decks became floating bomb factories. Vulnerable. Exposed. American torpedo planes attacked first. They flew low and slow. No fighter cover. Outdated aircraft. They were slaughtered. Squadron after squadron was wiped out. Pilots pressed on anyway. They knew the odds. Their attacks scored almost no hits. But they pulled Japanese fighters down to sea level. And that changed everything. At around 10:20 a.m., everything changed. High above the clouds, American dive bombers arrived. They found the Japanese carriers unprotected. What followed lasted less than 6 minutes. Bombs fell. Akagi burned. Kaga exploded. Soryu was crippled. 3 Japanese carriers were mortally wounded. Smoke filled the sky. The most powerful naval force in the world was suddenly on fire. Only one Japanese carrier remained, Hiryu. Its aircraft struck back. They found USS Yorktown. Bombs hit. Torpedoes struck. Yorktown was badly damaged. But later that day, American dive bombers found Hiryu. She burned and sank. By nightfall, the battle was decided. The cost was enormous. Japan lost 4 aircraft carriers, hundreds of aircraft, many of its best pilots. The United States lost 1 aircraft carrier, many brave airmen. But the balance of power had shifted. Japan could not replace its losses. America could. Midway changed everything. Before Midway, Japan advanced. America reacted. After Midway, Japan defended. America attacked. The psychological impact was immense. For the first time, Japan had suffered a major defeat. For the first time, America believed it could win. Midway did not end the war, but it made victory possible. It led to Guadalcanal, island-hopping campaigns, the long push toward Japan. The Pacific War became a war of attrition, and Japan was on the losing side. Behind the strategies were people, young pilots, deck crews, radio operators, medics. Many never returned. Some died without knowing the impact of their sacrifice. Their courage turned the tide of history. Midway taught the world powerful lessons. Intelligence matters. Timing matters. Leadership matters. Courage matters. Wars are not won only by strength. They are won by decisions. Today, the ocean hides the wrecks. Carriers rest silently beneath the waves. But their story lives on. Midway was not just a battle. It was a moment where fate turned. The Battle of Midway proved that even the strongest forces can fall. That preparation can overcome power. That sacrifice can change the course of history. In the vast silence of the Pacific, one battle reshaped the world, and its echo is still heard today.